They got to me. They win. They got to me. They kicked me while I was down and they got the best of me. I refuse to have another platform that's filled with anger and judgment and meanness. I don't want to be yet another platform for people to come on and just be nasty. There's no reason to it. But they got to me. I'm human. I'm not perfect. Let me just take a minute here. I'm going to probably have a lot of hateful comments. Hopefully not. But I decided to go live in all of my platforms today because I've been targeted. I will first explain what I do for those who don't know, and then I'll explain what I'm talking about when I say they got to me. So I am considered more of an educator, consultant. I'm a consultant. I do not work with birth moms. I do not work directly with birth moms. I do not work with adoptees. I work solely with hopeful parents who need help to navigate the adoption process. What we do, the community, and focus on education, bringing in all voices and all sides of the adoption constellation. Adoptive parents, hopeful adoptive parents, birth parents, adoptees, all of whose voices are extremely important to be heard, all of whom deserve support. I am open to hearing all sides of everything. In fact, I had a speaker on in my community about a month ago who I am regular in my community as a therapist, as a transracial adoptee who does not believe in transracial adoption. And yet when I brought her on and she said, I don't know that we agree on something, I said, that's okay. It's important to hear all sides. Feel like you can be respectful to everybody. To which that person responded, of course I can. And I can also listen and understand all sides. But when someone decides to come on my platform and start spewing hate, not knowing anything about me, I Control-Alt-Delete. Sorry, it's not productive. I don't want that. It's not what I'm building, and it's my platform. I am not about silencing voices. But I'm also not about having unproductive nastiness. besides the fact that they're boosting my algorithm and letting, Instagram throw my stuff out to even more people. So thank you for that, I guess. There's always a positive in everything. So here's what I'm talking about for those of you who don't know. I sent out an email to my private list of people who have opted into my email list. I send out a weekly email. Those emails are filled with education, celebration, and promotion if I'm having some sort of something, a service that I want to promote. This is just wheeling back a little. And by the way, I know I owe no explanation to anyone. I'm a 53-year-old woman who has built a business for the last 10 years. I'm an adoptive mom, single mom, transracial mom in an open adoption, doing my absolute best to learn every day. They got to me. Fuck. I'm stronger than this. I don't even have a tissue nearby, but I have a coffee. My job is not to determine whether or not a certain provider is doing things in a great way and not a great way. My job is to help people navigate the adoption process who are with or without me, who are going to go with or without me. Hopefully, I will guide them to better places. And adoptions are going to happen whether I exist in business or not. I'm trying to make it happen a little bit better with people who will go through, adopt, and become parents who are a little bit more educated than if they didn't use my services. So in my private email on Friday, last minute decision, things have been whatever, that's not important. I decided, you know what? I am going to offer $500 off of all of my services. I happen to work within the adoption world, so they are adoption services. I'm not an agency. I don't do placements. I don't work with babies. I decided to offer $500 off my services for people who were on the fence thinking about it, who needed that extra kick in the butt, as I put it, to make that move because they were scared to. And I'm so happy to welcome in the people who did take advantage of that into my community. And my community will tell you I have such a supportive, positive, beautiful community, knowledgeable, who support each other through the joys and the hard. And trust me, we talk about all those layers, bringing in trauma experts, hearing from all the voices. So when somebody who decided to be on my private email list decided to share, copy and paste or whatever with an outside community of haters who then decided as a group to spew hate on posts, I blocked and deleted them. That's why. If you want to come on and share your story from a personal point of view instead of talking for all adoptees, and frankly, I don't support anyone talking for all of anybody. No Black person is going to talk for all Black people. No Jew is going to talk for all Jews. No Palestinian is going to talk for all Palestinians. No adoptee is going to talk for all adoptees. No birth parent is going to talk for all birth parents. You just can't. Am I fired up? Yes. Because I'm so sick of bullshit and all this hate in the world. It's coming at me at all angles right now. So if I'm emotional, yes. Because some of those same people spewing my pages also hate me because I'm a Jew. And a proud one who supports Israel. So stop hating. If you want to get your message across, let's do it productively. Talk about your experience and why something triggers you. You know? And then if you know somebody personally, stand up for that person. God, if a friend of mine got caught in this, I would be the first one to stand up and say, you guys, I know this person. I know their heart. I know where they're coming from. Let me talk to them. Okay. I left some of the messages up. I deleted others. I will continue to delete and block unproductive platforms. You don't have to agree with that, and you don't have to like it. On another note, thank you, Scott. Sometimes I just have to preach, you know? Feels good. I'm passionate about all of this, about everything I do and everything I stand for. It comes from a place of love and passion. Okay. I wanted to bring up just a couple things. I haven't been live for the last couple weeks. I was on vacation for Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. And I just want to give a shout out to my team really quickly, because it's been a levels in the world, within the adoption community, within businesses. And so I talked with my team about, in the face of hardness and yuckiness, what can we be grateful for, or what have we been grateful for, and what has surprised us about ourselves within that hardness. And we had such an amazing, productive conversation that frankly surprised me, and maybe even surprised all of us in a way as we were talking. And so I don't, one of the things that I'm grateful for is moving my algorithm, right? Because comments are comments, shares are shares, likes are likes, dislikes are dislikes. It doesn't matter what it is to Google, they're going to push it out if more people are. So I looked at it that way. And also, yes, of course, like I reflect on what that somebody else. Would I have done it differently? Maybe it doesn't matter anymore. It's out there. But just the way things are handled. So anyways, NICU babies. I wanted to talk really quickly about NICU babies. Sometimes you can expect a baby to be in NICU if a mom has been using drugs throughout the pregnancy and that you're aware of. Most likely that baby is going to have a longer hospital stay. And the ICPC process, the process in which if you're adopting out of state, you get cleared to then go into your own state, doesn't start until the baby is released from the hospital and medical records are provided. So, which happens really quickly after the baby's released, but that's the one and only time the records are provided. And I may be speaking out of term. It might not be medical records that are needed. Maybe somebody can clarify that for me, but I know the baby has to be released from the hospital. So plan of people to come home with the baby to be much longer than maybe what you hoped for or what you expected. So maybe instead of 1 week, it could be 3 weeks, because the ICPC process, we say, usually takes between 7 and 14 business days. If you are adopting over a holiday, it's going to be much longer probably. There's usually one person that clears you in every state. And if that person's on vacation, or, the paperwork gets piled up, it's going to take longer, and federal offices close. So take that consideration. You're going to want to be there as much as possible in the hospital. It's going to be hard. They may be experiencing colic and crying all the time, or shaking, or just lean on the NICU nurses. They know what they're doing, but just kind of relax into it. There's nothing you can do. You just need to be there for the baby, love on the baby, and you'll be able to go home when you can go home. I also had something come up where, a really quick story. After I adopted, and I'm looking at the time because I'm going to have to go soon, but after I adopted, about 3 months after, I don't know if I've told this story or not, but I was in a job that I hated, but I lost my job, and it was before I had finalized. And I was scared to death that my finalization wasn't going to get approved and somebody was going to come take my baby away. And yes, it's my baby once a mom signs. That's another thing. So many comments about when I say, oh, their parents, or distinguishing between the adoptive parent and the birth parent or whatever. It's the adoptive child mom relinquishes. Don't worry if you lose a job, either during a match or after adoption. Everybody's human. It happens. And I wouldn't worry about it. Just be honest about it. And as long as you can still provide for and support, and usually that's not the issue, you probably will find another job. So don't let that totally stress you out and think that's the end of things. Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there. Everybody, let's see. What to expect with that? That's another question. It's all pretty much the same. Like the pre-placement and post-placement visits, it's gonna be by the same person, by a social worker. They just want to come in, talk to you, and help educate you about what to expect moving forward. And at the same time, just make sure that the baby's doing okay and that you're supported the way that you need to be. They also just want to make sure that you're not abusing your child and they didn't make a huge mistake by placing a baby with you. So nothing to worry about, nothing to prepare for. Just welcome them in. And I absolutely loved those visits because my home study caseworker was a nurse. And so I loved all the little tidbits of information as a new parent that she could give me. So just lean on that a little bit. Don't forget your birth family, during these holiday times. So start thinking about gifts. I know a great place to look for gifts for birth parents are at Solace, SOLACE. They do fantastic gift baskets for birth parents that were curated specifically. I think they had the help of birth moms to help them put it together. Anyways, they are a great things on Etsy. But some of the most special gifts for birth families are handprints, homemade ornaments, pictures, artwork, stuff that is really personal can be really helpful too. And the only other thing I'd throw out is maybe a gift card to Amazon or Target or Walmart is in their area, be able to shop at. Just to give them a little bit of help, maybe help them get some gifts themselves. So those are all little helpful tidbits. And that's where I'm going to leave it today. So I know I spent the first 10 minutes preaching. I'm going to try to do Thursday mornings from now on instead of Friday afternoons, because as I kind of put together my son's team to help support him, we are running into some scheduling issues on Friday afternoon. So I'm going to switch it to Thursday mornings. And that is another conversation for another day, putting together the team to support your child, so that hopefully they can grow up and be, feel good about who they are and their identity. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye.